that started. And yeah, welcome again. And I will pass over to the lovely Jen. Let me just highlight Jen. Over to you.
Hi, everyone. Put your name in the chat if you're one of my customers, because I know I've had a few withdrawals today. I'm hoping Sylvia's here. So today for our
Jen.
Pardon?
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Sylvia.
Yeah.
Nice to have you here. Paul, Helene and Jane are contact tracing today, so they were planning to come.
Oh, okay.
So for the start, I'm going to make some crackers, which I think is something that appeals to a lot of people because we can make our dips quite easily and you see that a lot, but crackers seems to be a little bit more challenging. So, you know, we often just buy a packet of crackers and serve it with our dip. So I'm going to show you how to do the crackers today. I'll do it in stages just because of the time. It's not actually that much harder, but just so that we can keep the class going. So I'm going to go to my week. There's quite a few different cracker recipes in Cookie Do, but today I'm going to do the seeded tahini crackers. So we'll start cooking. Can you see, is that okay, Heather? Can you see everything all right? Hi, Deb.
I was on mute. Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to start with, don't get caught in that trap of tearing your scales and then taking your lid off, and then it's a minus number. I do that all the time, so you just have to be careful and then tear it again. So I'm going to put 25 grams of poppy seeds. Now I've got everything in containers here just because of the time, but the ideal thing about Thermomix is you can put everything from your container or your packet, which makes it really quickly done. And then 45 grams of chia seeds. And then 2 tablespoons of psyllium husks. And now I'm going to mix all this up, grind it down a bit. So this will go for 30 seconds, so it might just be a little bit noisy. I'm going to go to 10.
So have you made these before, Jen? She might not be able to hear me. If anyone hasn't made crackers before, they're such a great thing to make in your Thermomix, so much cheaper than buying seed crackers. I don't know if you've bought them and reeled at the price. So you can pay sort of $10 for a packet. Yeah, so great to make your own.
I've just got my spatula, sorry. I don't know where it went. So I'm just going to scrape down the side of this. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So that's those 3 ingredients all ground down. And then next, I'm going to add 75 grams of sunflower seeds, 75 grams of pepitas, 60 grams of whole grain mustard.
Did you have a question about the recipe? But I saw your hand up. Maybe not.
Oh, look at that. And then 55 grams of tahini. So they're kind of all, like once you've got the ingredients in your cupboard, you can make it several times. So there's kind of staples. The runniest tahini I've ever bought. Making a big mess. And then 45 grams of it says golden linseeds. These are actually brown linseeds, and they're a bit easier to get than the golden ones. And of course, I did look it up to see what the difference was. There's actually not a lot of difference. They're pretty close. I think the golden flax seeds might be slightly better, have a better nutritional value. But at the end of the day, when you're preparing something, I don't think it really matters. So there's nothing bad in them.
They're really good. They're high in omega-3s, so they're a good thing to add to anything, really.
Yeah, and then half a teaspoon of salt. And then 1 egg. Put the lid back on. And then I'm going to put the speed selector onto 2. And it's going to go for 20 seconds.
So another great seed cracker recipe is the one in with the herb baked ricotta, the savoury herb baked ricotta. That's my go-to for seed crackers. It's brilliant.
There's another one on the recipe community that I've done a few times, and one of my friends is like, "Oh, I will pay you to make those for me." And I think it's just got all your linseeds and things like that, but it's also got rosemary, chili flakes, and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
that's what it looks like all mixed up with those ingredients. So that's the final mix. So I'm going to turn this on to, I've got I'll put this down a bit now so that you can see. I'm going to put on the Thermomat, but I'm also got 2 pieces of baking paper because I'm going to roll it in between that. So it's a little bit crumbly when I first put it out. Same with the dough. I'll just give it a bit of a twist to get it all out. And that's not too bad. That's got most of it out. And then just really massage it together. That's another word.
Sounds good.
I can't think of a. You want it to go into a ball, basically. So go to next. It's asking me to preheat the oven now to 170 degrees, which I'll do. And then get a baking tray as well. But I'm going to put this ball of linseeds everywhere, all through my house now.
You need a mini vac.
Yeah, absolutely. So you actually put that dough ball in between your 2 pieces of dough, or biscuit dough, and then you're going to flatten it out. And I actually find it's a bit easier to get started, use your hands. Anyone that's seen the Thermomix dough rolling pin on the mixture, they're amazing. They're beautiful pins. It's lovely and light, but it's quite long as well, so it's good for, rolling out a big. You'll see later when I show you my plan that I made with my pastry. So what you want to do now is get it into a bit of a rectangle. And you want it to about 3 to 4 centimetres thickness. So this just takes a little bit. It's not that tricky, but you just don't want to waste the bits on the side unless you're going to do something really rustic with your crackers. If you want really straight ones, you need to actually, I'll show you underneath there now. See how it's broken apart a bit? So you have to keep sort of pushing it together and then putting it into a bit of a rectangle. And then give it another roll it out again. And then what I'll do, I'll get Heather to go to the next one and just come back to me and I'll show you how I cut it up and put it in the oven. And then I'll make the dip that's going to go with this. Okay,
Fabulous.
thanks, Heather.
Thanks, Jen. We'll pass over to Kerry. Bye-bye. Go, Kez.
hi, thank you, everyone. Hi, everyone. Welcome, and hello to my customers that are on. So I'm doing a couple of dishes. The first dish I am doing is called spiced nut clusters. So if you're like me, I love nuts and I love like roasted, salted nuts. I've been buying some great salted nuts lately and they're absolutely delicious. So when I found this one, I thought I want to give this a go because I have a lot of my own raw nuts anyway. So I thought, well, this is a cheaper way too of doing it. So anyway, so we're just going to go and start cooking. It seems easy, so I will put my stone to preheat the oven to 150. I'm going to do that once we pass over to someone else because I'm actually right on top of my stove and it's quite noisy. But, and then we've got, oh, sorry, hold on a minute. Sorry, my son's just wanting to get in the fridge and moving the trolley. Sorry. Okay, so it says to line a baking tray, 30 to 40 centimetres. So I've got one of these, I've got one of our rose gold oven trays. Now, I've never lined mine because I use the liners. They actually fit perfectly into our trays. And that's a medium-sized one. We've also got a small one, and then we've got a bigger one, and then an even bigger one than that. So, but what I love about them is I don't have to wash the tray. It's just taking the liner out and washing them quickly. So, anyway, sorry. Oh, okay, so I've lined that. So all it's asking now is for my mix. Now I've mixed everything already in here, but it's 2 tablespoons of cumin seeds, a tablespoon of dry chili flakes. I'm actually taking out the dry chili flakes just because my son will probably want to have some of these and not like that. But the good thing, as you know, with the Thermomix, you can take in and take out what you like. 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds and 2 teaspoons of flake salt. Now, what I want to tell you about the flake salt. Flake salt, I don't know if you can see it, but it is like flaky like this. So it's not your rock salt, it's just your flaky salt. But what it's called sea salt flakes. So you can get Saxa ones or these Nelden flakes. Now, they're not the cheapest, but they are amazing and they are the best on pizzas. Rather than, you know, grinding it, just put some of these flakes on your pizza or pizza bianca. So that's what the flake salt is. And then so I've got all that in there. I'm just going to pop that into there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to toast those for 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and I'll mill them.
Fabulous. And I forgot to show you, if it's not cutting out the noise, do you want to talk about your dishes really quickly? Hang on, let me share the screen. Have I got the right one? Yes. So, and then we'll come back to Jen's. So, Kerry, they were your other dishes. Oh, hang on, where do we go?
Yeah, so the other dishes I've decided to take on my picnic. You'll see the nut clusters at the top right-hand corner. And on your left-hand corner is a broccoli salad. So I'm going to show you how to do the broccoli salad later. It's really quick, easy, healthy, and it'll travel well to your picnic. Down the bottom right, that are some chicken drumsticks. Now, there is a marinade that I'm going to, we'll have a link to. It's called the honey soy, or is it honey ginger? We've got it there anyway. Marinade, and it's one of the best marinades I've had because you don't actually have to let it sit for hours or anything. You can more or less use it straight on your chicken or whatever you want to do and pop it in the oven, and it actually makes quite a good amount, and you can actually freeze it. So I use this a lot in summer as well, just using it on chicken wings or chicken drumsticks. So that's what I'm taking on in the middle of the recipe. I'm just going to check. Sorry. So in the middle there is the strawberry amaze balls, they're called. I actually haven't tried these, but my sister said they're absolutely amazing. So that's what I am going to take. I have got all the ingredients. So in that recipe, there's a few things that one of the things that most of the other things that you can get easy from the shops. One thing I wasn't sure about, and it has freeze-dried strawberries in it. But in Woolworths, I find these other, they're like apple and strawberry, little packets of freeze-dried fruit. So that's what I am going to be using when I do these. And then on your left-hand side is the ginger and lime fizzy refresher. So what you do is you make the ginger and lime sort of like a cordial in the beginning. And of course, like anything, you can minimize that sugar if you want. But then what you do is you take that with you, and then you'll just take a bottle of mineral water, and then you can just top it up like that. So then, so it's easier to carry. Now, the other good thing is when you are at your picnic, if you want to add vodka, go ahead, because that's definitely what I would do.
Thanks, Kez. Brilliant. All right, Jenna, are you rolled out, or should we pass to Cheryl?
Yeah, no, you can pass to me.
Okay. Over to you.
So, yep, you can see it. So I've rolled it out as much as I can. I've tried to even up the sides as best I can. The really important thing is to remove your thermomat and don't cook on it. Don't slice on it or cut, because it will cut. And I did ruin my first thermomat doing that. So I put on the baking tray. I've actually just got a pizza type knife that I'm going to cut up, and you just do the size that you would like. I'm going to keep actually the funny looking edges, and not cut them off. Cut them down like this, and then they're going to bake for 35 minutes. The other great thing about this recipe, or any of the crackers recipes, is you can adapt and add anything you like. You know, the beautiful gourmet ones with, you know, apricot or the nuts. So you can add anything in here. I would love to put sesame seeds in mine as well. There's lots of different variations. I think as long as you've got something like, you know, you've got to have something that's going to bind it. So obviously there's an egg in there, but I think the tahini and the mustard is helping to bind that as well. That's the size of the crackers I'm doing. Just going to put them in the oven, and you'll see them after. Now, do you want me to go on to the dip now, or come back?
We'll come back to you if that's okay, sure. Because Cheryl will get her muffins in the oven. Yep. All right. Thanks, Jen. Hello, Cheryl.
Hi, how you going? Hi, everyone. This is me in my new kitchen. So it just took me a little while to find a new place to set up for something like this. So today what I'm going to be doing is the paleo cupcakes. So I probably chose these, number one, because they're really easy to make, and number two, we always seem to be following some kind of food, not diet, but food initiative or whatever. So these are just gluten-free and a great option, but really quick and easy. Did you want me to talk about my picnic stuff yet? Or do you want me to?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Let me get your images up.
Okay.
Great idea. I would forget.
All right. So before I start, I had only one of these recipes I've actually made before, and that's the Aussie potato salad, which is absolutely delicious. So highly recommend that. With the other dishes, the tortilla wraps are low carb. So they're the curried chicken salad wraps, which look amazing, and they come from the low carb cookbook. And then the other recipes I chose, the rissoles are just a turkey rissole, which is just an alternative and high protein option to then combine with a coleslaw, which is a little bit different, that's made with kale. And then for the mushroom tarts, I really love the pastry for that. So what I often do with the Thermomix is I will pick part of a recipe and then use, you know, say for example, I mightn't have mushrooms, but I might like the idea of the tarts. So I'll do the pastry, and then I'll, you know, if I've got some bacon or whatever else, or tomatoes, I'll do my own filling. So that's often what I do. There was another recipe, a couple of other recipes. There you go, second page. So the custard, I was actually going to do that, but I wasn't sure about thinking of a picnic. It mightn't travel so well. But this is actually called the peanut butter and chocolate custard. So once again, if you've ever made custard in your Thermomix, this is a bit of a twist. And probably a high, you know, another source of protein with the peanut butter. The scrolls I really loved because once again, it's adding more nutritional value with the dough, because in the dough, it's got, just reading, it's also got, it's got wholemeal plain flour. It's also got flax seeds. It's also got poppy seeds. So I just think it just adds more nourishment to, and probably keeps you full for longer than just carbs. And then I really liked the filling, which had the broccoli, spring onion, smoked ham, cream cheese, Swiss cheese. So just another combination. You know, with those you could mix them up and do them any way that you wanted to, even like as a focaccia or whatever. The other one, the frittata with the, where is it? The sweet potato frittata. What I think is the highlight of this is actually the coriander chili sauce, because sometimes when we do frittatas, we're just adding, you know, we're looking for something extra to add to spice it up. So you may even decide to not do that recipe, but just make the sauce and then use it for something else. So that's often what I do, is I don't just look at the whole complete recipe. I'll take part of a recipe and adapt it that way. All right, so the cupcakes are really simple, and as I said, they are paleo, and we've done that. So I've kind of skipped a few steps just because we're under a bit of time. So first of all, the first step is to roast your almonds. Now I had, you know, half a bag of almonds. So rather than just roasting the 75 grams that they asked for, I did like, I think it was about 200 grams, and you can't beat freshly roasted almonds. So I did that. And then the next step after that is you blitz it into the almond mill. So I've actually skipped both those stages. Okay, so it's cooled that, we've done that. And then once again, you know, you can use your Thermomix that way. You don't need to be following a whole recipe. You might just use it for part of a recipe. Okay, oh, hang on, let me go back. All right, so we're just adding the almond meal. And then the next step is the coconut flour. So as I said, it's a gluten-free recipe. And then it's just simply adding a little bit of bicarb. So the bicarb will help it rise. And then a little bit of salt. And then we're going to mix it all up. Just for 5 seconds. Okay. Now, because it's a paleo recipe, you often find with paleo recipes they're quite egg dense. So this one actually has 3 eggs in it. Just a little, share a little tip, because I hadn't made these before and I wanted to make them before, but I didn't want to do a whole batch. I just did half a batch. So this recipe calls for 3 eggs. So I had some egg yolks left over. So I just used 1 egg and an egg yolk, and it turned out just fine. And then some honey. So once again, if you didn't want to use honey, you could use another sweetener.
I've been using egg white, Cheryl, for all my baking lately,
Oh, okay, yeah.
with an abundance of them. But it works really well.
Well, the egg yolks were from my daughter. She'd made, what did she do? Oh, eggs. She just did an omelette the other day, and I discovered there were like 4 egg yolks in the fridge, and I thought, oh, what am I going to do with this? All right, and then next is the coconut cream. I actually bought this coconut cream was actually the Coles one, and it was really quite thick, which was nice, which I think is going to be good for this kind of recipe. So if you didn't want to make it paleo, you could add regular cream or another, ingredient at this stage. And then we're just going to mix it. Right, so it says at this stage that you just need to stir it well with your spatula. I'll just give you a look, show you, see what it's done. Stir well with spatula to ensure all nuts are mixed in. It looks like they are, but, and it did so when I made it before, but I guess it's just because it can be a little bit pasty. Just to give it a good mix to ensure that the almond meal's mixed through. You'll see that another thing when you roast the almonds, that the nuts become quite dark, especially when you then blend them and cook them. And then we're going to mix it again for another 15.
You could add other things to that too, couldn't you? You could add berries or fruit.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, yum. Have to try them.
All right, so then you simply, now this is when, again, you can mix it up. It says to pour them into a mini muffin tin, which I have. These are fabulous. As Keir said before, the rose gold bakeware that we sell on the mix shop. It says to grease them at the beginning of the recipe. To be honest, you don't really need to because they're so well made. I obviously have today because I'm doing a demonstration and I don't want them to fail on that one occasion. So then you simply pour them in, pour the mixture in, which evenly into the muffin tray, bake it for 15 minutes. And then it says at the end, once they're cooled, you can put a dollop of coconut yogurt over the top and sprinkle with cinnamon, which sounds great. I actually didn't like that because I like icing on my cupcakes. So here are some of the ones I've made earlier. Oops. And I've just mixed up a little bit of icing and I've just put a little bit of cinnamon on the top. This is what they look like when they come out. So they're cute. So bite-size cupcakes, perfect for lunches, after school lunches. I'm just wondering, I'm thinking about kids and, how most schools are nut-free, whether or not, I know in the past what I've done is I've replaced nuts with sunflower seeds. So, yeah, that might be something that you could try if you wanted to pack these in the lunchbox, because they're just the perfect size. I just find any muffin recipe that I make in the Thermomix, I often will just make them in the mini muffin tray, and then, rather than having a whole muffin, it's just like bite size. So you can have twice as many and not feel as guilty as having a whole muffin. You can, of course, if you wanted to make like larger versions, you could just use your regular muffin tray as well. And that would take a little bit longer, obviously, to cook. But yeah, they look great. You could even pop some little berries or whatever. But I just thought these would be simple, easy to whip up before, you know, to take along to a picnic. Really simple, you know, as far as storage, you just pop them in a, you know, Tupperware container or whatever, and just serve them, pass them around. And yeah, no preservatives, and really yummy.
They look great. Thanks, Cheryl.
Welcome.
All right. Well, I'll pass back to Kerry and we'll get her nuts finished off.
Okay, welcome back. So after the nuts did the toasty, I just had to cool it for a minute, and then I've already gone and mixed it all on speed 7. And then the next bit, it says do not clean the mixing bowl. Don't we love it when a step says do not clean the mixing bowl? Love it. So we're going to pop in the your butterfly. That in. And then we're just going to add in an egg white. So I'm just going to add that in. And then we're going to pop that on. And we're going to whip that egg white for 30 seconds. This mixture smells amazing. I actually sort of wish I would have put the chili flakes in now, but that's all right. I'll just do my own batch that I can take to work or something. But it's really, it smells so good. And then so what? Also, I just wanted to, while that's just whipping, I was going when those strawberry freeze bite balls that was on that we'll send you the link to. What I was talking about is everything else is really easy to find. It was just the freeze dried strawberries. Now, unless you've got a dehydrator and you can do it yourself, I found these. They're not in. You can't get them in Coles, but they're just these ones are in Woolworths only. So there's these ones are apple and strawberry, and you can get a couple of others, but there's nothing artificial, no preservatives. So that's what I use for those balls. Well, I'm going to. Okay, so remove the whisk. Add in your nuts. 300 grams of nuts. I think I've only got about 250 here, but that's fine. Add in the reserve spices. So obviously, yeah, you can buy. If you've got a mixture of your own nuts at home, it's going to be cheaper, but I did find a mix. Some of them can be quite expensive. I just found this one, and it was just from Woolworths. It's only $250, and it was like $5 because some of the raw ones were like really expensive, but this was a macro one. So if you didn't have all your other nuts, and I'm just going to combine that for 20 seconds. I've put the oven on. I'm actually excited about these. And then yeah, we're just going to pop that in the oven. Okay. So it says transfer the mixture onto your baking tray, and it says to ensure the nuts are touching to allow them to cluster. Oh my gosh, they look so good. I know I do ones around Christmas time on Recipe Community, and they're really good too. Amazing. I always do it for Christmas gifts. They've got like maple syrup and honey, so they're a bit more, they're nice, but they're not as healthy, obviously. But so I'm just going to pop that on now. And then what I'm going to do is I'll pop them like that. So, and then we will bake that for 20 minutes at 150 degrees. So then, and then I will come back later. I can do the broccoli salad when we
come back. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Kerry. So now I'm looking for Lindsay. Where are you, Lindsay? Oh, there. I'll hand over to Lindsay.
Hey everybody, how are you? I'm Lindsay. Today I'm going to be doing, it's a tongue twister, a curried couscous, carrot and chickpea salad. So I'm vegetarian, but this is actually a vegan recipe, so really great one if you are going to a picnic to have some vegetarian options for others. And it's a little bit different. to like the normal broccoli salad that we would do. I'm a huge fan of that one. The detox salad as well. So it's kind of stepping away from the greens and has that beautiful vibrant colors, and obviously it tastes great. So I've just seen Heather has my selected items shared. So you have the couscous salad. I've gone for the raspberry and basil sangria, mostly because it serves 10, so nice quantities there if you are bringing to share, but you can swap out the berries for any berries that you do have on hand. You can make the syrup up to a week in advance, so if you do have the syrup done, it's just a case of mixing it all in your Thermomix before you take it away. And if you do want to have it alcohol free, because it does have wine in there, you can just keep it and swap it out for sparkling water. Then I have chosen some vegetarian sausage rolls. So these are a big fan for everyone, not even just people that are vegetarian. I often have people ask me, oh, what's in it? There has to be meat, but it's not. It's a really beautiful nutty. It has oats in there, soy sauce, and they're really quick to do up. And then lastly, the egg salad sandwiches, again, so simple and quick to do, but a lot of servings through it. You just use the egg boiler mode on your Thermomix, and then you can either make your own cooked mayonnaise, mix it in with some chives, Dijon mustard, and there you have it. So really easy for picnics, for lunches, for light snacks, and some beautiful favorite recipes of mine. So I'm going to hop into the recipe that I'm doing, so the curried couscous. We're going to start, oh, my machine is turned off. So I have my thermo server. The thermo server is so handy for whenever you are planning to use your bowl. You can cook your pasta, your rice, quinoa, your couscous with your thermo server on the side. So I'm going to go to my week. I'll give it a second. Oh, sorry, my internet, there's too many devices on it at the moment. Probably taking a second to. Now, so I have already weighed in my couscous, so it's 200 grams of the couscous there that I've put in, weighed it into my thermo server. I'm just going to go next, so you're adding some olive oil. It won't come off. So 40 grams of olive oil is going in. And next, so I'm going to pour the boiling water onto the couscous until it's just about covered. I'm going to have to bring it down to my height to be able to see how to do that. So I'll just show you the couscous. So it's just kind of slightly coming up from the bowl, so it won't take a lot of water for it to cook. Give it a bit of a stir. So I'm going to leave this then to cook for about 5 to 10 minutes, just until it goes nice and fluffy and it's absorbed all the water. And then I think I'm going to go on to the second part of my recipe. But for now, that's it. It's just going to stay in the thermal server and cook for the next 5-10 minutes.
Fabulous. Thank you, Lindsay. So what we might do is duck back to Kerry, who I've lost. How can I lose Kerry? For her salad.
Sorry. I'm going to wash my bowl quickly. I was doing a pre-wash. I was doing the
Oh, we can come back to you. We'll go to Jen.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm doing the TM6 pre-mode.
Okay.
Pre-wash mode, sorry.
All right, we'll come back in a minute. Jen, over to you.
Mute me. You can hear me again?
Yes, all good.
Yes, yeah, good. Okay, so now I'm going to make a smoked salmon Philly cheese dip. So this one isn't on Cookie Do. I created this recipe myself quite a few years ago now, when I first became a consultant back in 2010, 2011. We had challenges and we had to create 3 recipes and upload them to the recipe community. So how many people are using the recipe community at the moment? Maybe with Cookie Do you don't use it as much, but it was actually amazing for us. Such a great resource. And I'm sure Heather's going to let you know about some wonderful news about that later. But just this recipe, I think we'll send it out to you anyway. I've just got to bring it up because I've got it on my iPad over here. So basically, it's just some fresh dill, some spring onions, some cream cheese, some lime juice, and then the Philly cheese. The Philly cheese is an amazing base that you can use make a lot of delicious dips with. So I'm obviously going to do it on the manual mode. So first I'm going to chop the dill and the spring onions for 5 seconds on speed 7. So I've got some dill there and some spring onions. So 5 seconds, I'll dial up and then up to speed 7. It's kind of weird going back to manual. So that's the spring onions and dill chopped. I'm going to scrape down the sides of that. Just love dill. Don't eat it enough. So now I'm going to add the smoked salmon and chop that for 5 seconds on speed 5. 125 grams of smoked salmon. Now I'm going to add the Philly cheese and the lime juice. You can see how that's chopped that up there. You can do the lower fat Philly cheese in these dips. They're sometimes not as thick though. They can get a little bit watery, but often people do ask that. People that are, a bit conscious of the full cream in the recipes. I think it's probably pretty nice stuff to do the full cream. Slightly better result. Don't eat as much of it. Put the lime juice in there. So that's just a tablespoon of lime juice. And I think I just mix that then for 10 to 15 seconds on speed 4.
How many times have you made this, Jen?
I haven't made it for a while, I have to admit, but I used to make it all the time. And I think that's been one of our traps that I haven't used Recipe Community for a while. I couldn't even log in. I couldn't remember my login, but I did work it out. So it's been quite exciting to rediscover these recipes. Michelle would remember them as well, and kids, you probably do too. I'll just put it into a nice dish. I'll garnish it with another bit of dill on the top. And then are you going to come back to me and we'll do my whole picnic?
Yes. Or unless you're ready to do it now.
Well, I can do it now if you want.
If you've got it there. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll go to Kerry for her.
Yep. No, I can do it. I'm just going to move the camera so don't get seasick, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. Can everyone see?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So I decided to go the whole hog here. it wasn't good enough that I just think about what you'd have on a picnic. I just thought I'd do it. And I've got a very special friend that's turning 65 tomorrow. So I'm gifting her most of this to have with her partner. So what I made was I did another dip as well. So I did a hummus, and that's just sumac on the top. And this is the basic hummus recipe that we have on cookie dip. There are my cookies there, my crackers. And that's the dip I just made. And then I've made the caramelised leek and feta flan. And it's got somebody's name at the start of it, and I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I've got the link in the notes. It'll go out to everyone afterwards.
Beautiful. But it like rates really high, and I think it looks okay. So I'm sure it's going to be delicious. And I've got a couple of salads to go with it. It's a good old beetroot salad. I know she's going to love that. And then I also made, I don't think it's the same as Kez's beetroot salad. This is another beetroot salad though, but it's the one with pine nuts. Another super easy salad. I also did some zucchini slice, but I did them in little loaf tins. So that's the only gluten-free option I did, because that's got rice flour in it. It's got bacon in it as well, so it's not vegetarian. And then for dessert, I'm pretty impressed with myself for doing these, the lemon meringue cupcakes. So I'm going to get a candle and put that on for her. I was just going to show you. I'm hoping this works. So it's very experimental because it's got lemon curd inside it. I'm going to just give us a little test of it and see how it cuts. And hopefully you can see that it's got the lemon curd there on top of the meringue. Oh. And then I've also got a nice little jar in all of that, a nice little jar of lemon curd that I can give her as a gift. So that was my morning. And I could never have done this if I didn't have a Thermomix and 2 bowls. Like, it's just, it's amazing. I did feel like I was on MasterChef running around, but it was great. Just amazing to be able to whip up some special food.
That's incredible. Your friend is very lucky, Jen.
I'll tell Sylvia it's actually Kate, my office mate's birthday. Sylvia knows her.
Everyone will go to her place tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to get there. She's in Lake Macquarie. I'm not supposed to go there, but
it's essential service.
Sure.
Yeah. I can meet you on the border, and then I can take it to her. So I'm in Lake Macquarie.
Yeah. Well, I'm all ready to confront the police because I have to talk to them enough when I'm doing contact tracing.
There you go.
But the problem is I'm trying to keep people safe as well, so I don't want to breach it.
Well, I think you've got a good reason. Anyway, that's all amazing, Jen. Thank you so much for sharing.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Pleasure.
Okay, I'll pass over to Kerry for her fabulous salad.
Okay, back again now. Today I'm going to do the broccoli salad. I will show you first. This is the one I actually wanted to make, and I have made it. Oh, where is it now? Oh, that's not the one. There's, sorry, I've bookmarked the wrong one. Anyway, there is a salad that I've made. Everyone, like Jen's just made the beetroot salad. The beetroot salad, if you haven't tried it, is amazing. But I found one and it's in the basic cookbook, and it's just called the chopped vegetable salad. So I actually threw beetroot in that. So it's more or less, you can throw anything. You can throw the same sort of thing. It had that taste of the beetroot salad, but you can throw like strawberries in. It just hasn't got that coriander in it. So if you don't like the coriander, so it's another great choice. But this one I thought would travel better to a picnic. So I'm doing the broccoli salad, and this is very, very quick and easy. So all we're going to do is put in your 250 grams of broccoli, so just in your florets. Carrots, 100 grams of carrots, so just cut into pieces. An apple. Oh, where did my apple go? Oh, here it is at the back. So 1 apple, and just cut it into quarters and cord. Don't worry about peeling it, just throw all that in. And then 1/4 of a red onion. I've done a small quarter because I'm not that fussed on red onion, but again, you don't have to put it in there if you don't want to. And 100 grams of natural yogurt. So we're going to pop that in. Now, if you don't have yogurt and you wanted to do sour cream, you can do that, but this is just natural. And 20 grams of lemon juice. Pop that in. Pinch of salt. A pinch of salt like that. And then a ground pepper. I won't put that in because my son will probably not like that if I do. Now, put that on. And then this is it. 5 seconds. Speed 4. Now it does say on the bottom if it, you can prolong that by about 3 seconds. So it's same as coleslaw, really. You can just see if you like that consistency. I'll show you the first one. So that's it there. So even in that short time, imagine chopping all that with your knife. Okay, thank you. So, and it's going to do it again. Okay, now you can serve that immediately. So we'll pop it in the fridge and have it a bit later. So again, there it is. That is sort of chunkier. If you want to make it smaller, yep, you can do that like a fine coleslaw. But yeah, so this is so good and it's great. You know, some people are like, oh, I just sort of have steak and veggies or steak and salads, but what they don't realise how many amazing salads are actually on the Cookie-Doo. And this one's just in your basic cookbook. Now I'm actually going to be placing this in my white thermo server. So if you haven't seen the white thermo servers yet, they are amazing and they are offered as a host reward. So what I like about these is beside the beautiful colour, they actually are smaller than the big 2.6 litres. And they will actually, so you don't have to use the bigger one for things like this. And it also fits in your Varoma to make your yogurt so where you sit it overnight and it'll fit into your Varoma. Thank you.
Thank you, Kerry. That looks delicious. One
My dinner tonight with some lamb chops.
Yeah, I bet. Yum. All right. I'll pass over to Lindsay to finish off her salad.
Just unmute myself. So yeah, the second part of this salad. So what you would do is you'd pop your couscous in your thermo server and then get started straight away. The same as Jenny and all the other girls. I've already gone ahead and pre-prepped everything, but it is a very quick chop it in the thermo server and or the Thermomix, and it does everything for you. So we are going to put in our ginger. So 3 to 4 centimeters of fresh ginger in there. Press next. So we're going to add 30 grams of red onion, about 1/4 of a red onion, your 120 grams of carrot gone in, chopped up into pieces, just kind of mind my blades a little bit. Half of a green capsicum. It's kind of a small capsicum, but it'll have to do. And then popping on my lid. So that's going to chop the first half of the veggies for 5 seconds. Yeah. So in 5 seconds, as Kerry said, I couldn't think of doing all that by hand. I'm just going to mix everything in. Yeah, so we're going to add 50 grams of dried apricots. So I just have my apricot here. Oh, I've already measured it, so it's not too bad. Chuck it in. Some raisins. Chuck some raisins in. I think this will be a really, really lovely flavor. We're going to have it with some falafels, homemade falafels, and hummus, maybe in a Lebanese bread, if you like the different textures. So 50 grams of cashews in. 400 grams canned chickpeas rinsed and drained. So we've done that. Use my steaming basket to strain it always. And then 1 tablespoon of curry powder. So I have my beautiful Mix Shop rose gold spoons, and I have the cups as well. They're really just amazing quality. They're quite heavy. I like the weightness of them. Other ones that I've had before have been quite thin and hard to work with. So yeah, we're going to pop our lid on. Make sure that's all okay. So 15 seconds speed 2. So this actually isn't going to do any more blitzing really. It's just going speed 2 with our backwards blades. So it's just going to make sure that all the curry powder and everything gets stirred up into the veggies and the fruit.
I notice you've got your vacuum there in the background, Lindsay.
Yes, I do. So my small house comes with a small vacuum for now. So yeah, I love it. It's so handy. I even spilled all the couscous and some curry powder earlier on when I was getting it out, and just quickly clean up before we jumped on to class. So it's great.
Yeah, and our customers can access that this month as well. I'll have to cover that off before we finish.
Maybe Lindsay could give us a quick demo of
Yeah, I
how
love
it
it.
works.
So I can do. So I'll just show you quick. So that's the salad. It smells really, really good. It smells amazing. So we're going to fluff our couscous in our thermal server. So there it is. I have a fork. So fluff it all up. We have my first time doing the couscous. I always use it for pasta, but it's worked really well. Yeah, just gonna add in my mixture. See, I'm making a mess. I will have something to clean up with my vacuum. Now give it a big stir and show you guys.
It looks
So
so
yeah,
good.
we're going to have it maybe tonight as a side, but definitely tomorrow in some falafel wraps with some homemade hummus as well. So it's going to be really lovely. And that's that.
Amazing. Show us your back.
Oh, okay, so here it is. So lightweight. I couldn't believe how light it was. But yeah, so it actually, the light, when it's fully charged, the light turns off. But that's it. You clean up like this. Yeah, I love it. I love how quick it is. I did the couch underneath the cushions of the couch yesterday. Yeah, just so handy. You can use it in the car. And it's amazing that you can get it as a host reward this month. Definitely if you've already done classes and you've kind of gathered your thermal service and you have the thermal mat, something very new and exciting to grab. I believe $50 if you have a guest that buys. If not, you get it half price at $149. So great chance to grab that.
Brilliant. Thank you, Lindsay.
No problem.
Okay, now I will come back to me as long as I haven't missed anybody. Oh, I've got 1 minute. Let's share this quickly. So there were a couple of things I wanted to share with you. So I'll go through. Oh, these were mine because I didn't cook today. I still wanted to share with you my picnic ideas. So this is the gin and cucumber cooler. So you can make this non-alcoholic if you wish, but it's another great one where you can make the base of the cocktail and then just top up with the mineral water or soda water when you get to the park. I chose a regular quiche. The quiche Lorraine from your basic cookbook is brilliant. It's so easy. You can mix it up. You don't have to use bacon. You use whatever you've got in the fridge. Some roast veggies are beautiful. The hummus. So you'll have a couple of different hummus recipes coming out. This one has a few variations, which I thought was nice. And this peanut and soba noodle slaw. It's a Christmas favorite of ours, but also if I'm going, when things are normal, we get together as a family and have barbecues, and I always take the salads. So this is one that I take because it feeds a crowd. It's brilliant and everyone loves it. And lastly, for something sweet, this is one of my favorite cakes. It's gluten-free and it is, if I get the name right, it's a pistachio coconut cake. So it's just divine. And Yeah, oh, you'll be getting the recipe for that as well on Cookatoo, but it's an absolute favourite. So I'll see what else I've missed here. So we still have 24 months interest free available. So if you've been watching today and thinking of any of your friends who, gosh, you think they would so much benefit from having a Thermomix, we have this available for them. Or maybe you're thinking of getting a second one for yourself. So what we have on offer this month is a free kitchen toolkit, which in itself is, I think they're worth $120, and they're brilliant for traveling, for going to the park, for going anywhere, but I wouldn't be without mine, as well as the Meals in a Flash cookbook, which is a brilliant book where all the recipes take less than 40 minutes. I'm just going to... and there, Lindsay's told us about the mini vac, which is fabulous. So if you'd like to get your hands on one of those, get in touch with your consultant. We have the rest of the month available to help you, as well as our other great host rewards. I'll quickly run through these. These were some other ideas from our team. There's some beautiful picnic-friendly food. But yeah, we're really great.